నమస్కారం. మన భారతదేశంలో నదులకు ఎంతో విశిష్టమైన స్థానం ఉంది. నదులను పరిరక్షించే దిశగా పద్మ విభూషణ్ సద్గురు ఒక బృహత్తరమైన కార్యక్రమాన్ని చేపట్టారు, ర్యాలీ ఫర్ రివర్స్ అని. మరి ఆ ర్యాలీ ఫర్ రివర్స్ ఏంటో, అసలు నదుల పరిస్థితి ఇప్పుడు ఎలా ఉందో, తర్వాత ర్యాలీ తర్వాత మరి నదుల పరిస్థితి ఏ విధంగా మారనుందో వారిని అడిగి తెలుసుకుందాం. నమస్కారం సద్గురు.
నమస్కారం.
అసలు ఎందుకు ర్యాలీ ఫర్ రివర్స్ అనేది?
జలాలు తగ్గిపోతున్నాయి. దీనికి చాలా కారణాలు ఉంది. అంటే ముఖ్యంగా the two fundamental things about the rivers is the source and the usage. When we talk about the source, there are two types of rivers: glacier-fed rivers and forest-fed rivers. In our country, only 4% of our river waters are glacier-fed. Particularly down south, it's 100% forest-fed because there is no snowfall anywhere in this country except in the Himalayan region. So on an average, it's only 4%. So largely it's forest-fed. What a forest-fed river means is, precipitation happens, rain happens. We must know this. In this country, average rainfall is only 45 days in a year. Out of 365 days, you have only 45 days of rain. If this rain has to flow, this rainwater has to flow for 12 months, you need an enormous amount of vegetation, because if there is vegetation, if there is a complex root system in the land and there is a whole lot of bioactivity happening, then when the rain comes down, it will percolate this way. If there is no vegetation, when the rain comes, it will run this way. So this is what you are seeing right now. Cycles of drought and flood is happening all the time. Because there is not enough vegetation to hold the water and let it out slowly into the river for 12 months. So what used to be perennial rivers, a whole lot of them are becoming seasonal rivers. Krishna is not touching the ocean 4 months in a year. Kaveri is not touching the ocean 3 to 3.5 months in a year. Narmada is not touching the ocean for 2 to 3 months. Like this, it is happening everywhere. Above all, the water flows have come down dramatically. On an average, over 40% in the last 50 years' time. For example, Kaveri, which is a bone of contention between two states, this year in the summer months, it dried up 170 kilometers inland. The entire length of Kaveri is only 430 kilometers in Tamil Nadu. But 170 kilometers inland it dried up. A whole lot of population depends on this river, but river is receding year by year. My engagement with rivers, my engagement with forests and mountains is from a very early age. My involvement with this is not in terms of being an environmentalist, I am still not one. I am the environment I am not an environmentalist. I have been engaged with rivers in a very big way, forests and mountains. I must tell you this, from the age of 12 to 17, every day I swam in Kaveri, almost every day. When I was little over 17, I rafted down Kaveri with just 4 truck tubes and a few bamboos. For 13 days, 160 kilometers or 163 kilometers down, I lived on the river, I ate off the river. So in my experience, a river is not just another geographical feature that you can make use of. It is a living thing. It is a much larger life than you and me. Many like you and me come and go, but the rivers will flow. But no, they will not flow. If too many people like you and me come, rivers will die. That's what we are proving. Because we as a generation of people, we have taken the largest bite out of this planet. Never before in the history of humanity, another generation has bit off the planet in such a big chunk as we have. To such an extent, the future generations may have nothing to bite, especially in a country like India, because of the population pressures we have on the land. So, considering all this, if we don't act now, it'll be just too late. Some kids were talking to me, school kids, they were saying, Sadhguru, my father says we are a selfie generation. I said, you may be a selfie generation, that's bad enough, but we are a selfish generation. We've eaten up everything without thinking of what's next. We are behaving as if we are the last generation on this planet.
But natural sources, no, again we can…
See, we thought something is working well and we think it'll work for always. We need to understand…
That is called positive attitude.
That is called destructive attitude, not positive. If you do not know what is the negative side of all that we do, and if you just have this stupid positive thinking, you will become neurotic. The people who propagated positive thinking in the beginning, they themselves went crazy. Do you know this? Oh, the deities of positive thinking from America, they all went crazy. They all went to lunatic asylums. So others are working hard to get there. But I'm telling you, if the same rate of depletion of rivers happen, you will have the entire country behaving like lunatics. You have no doubt about it, I'm telling you. I want you to just imagine. See, this is a land where we can do 12 months agriculture. And we have a history in southern India of over 10,000 years of agricultural history. When nobody knew what's agriculture in the rest of the world, we were farming the same land. Same land for over 10,000 years. So what nourished us for 10,000 years plus, in one generation, we rip it out to a point where 25% of India's land will be not cultivable in the next 5 years. In another 20 years, if the same thing continues, in another 20 years, nearly 40% of the land will be not cultivable. In another 40 years, nearly 60% of the land will not be soil, it will be sand. Why this happens is, see, if you grow a crop out of the land, let's say you took 1 ton of crop from an acre of land, what you have taken out is 1 ton of soil. Every year you're taking this out. How do you put it back? The only way you can put it back is leaves from the trees and the animal waste. Trees are gone long time ago, now animals are traveling to Saudi Arabia in millions, not in 1 or 2, okay? How are you going to put back the organic material into the soil? If you take out all the organic material from the soil, it becomes sand. Desertification of the land is happening at a very rapid pace. With 1.3 billion people on your hands, your ability to grow crops go away and you don't have water, can you imagine? It'll be worse than a madhouse. It'll be worse than a madhouse. So today you go and ask any farmer, how many of them want their children to get into farming? Believe me, it's less than 15%. So, farming is happening in India not because some great infrastructure or technology, because of traditional wisdom and knowledge. The farmer may be illiterate, but he knows how to grow a crop. I will tell you, get 10 MBAs, okay, from the best universities, ask them to grow one crop, let me see. With all their management skills, it won't work. Because there is an intrinsic knowledge about how to handle this. So in one generation, if it goes away, it's going away rapidly. In one generation, this knowledge that we acquired over thousands of years goes away and your soil is depleted and your water is depleted, how are you going to run this nation? How are you going to manage this population? So this is no more a joke, this is not an academic subject, this is a serious crisis. So we can't play innocence. Oh, we did not know. Well, it's your business to know. Why is it that you do not know? Right now, we've done some kind of loose surveys. 80% of the population below 20 years of age in most urban cities in India have never seen a river. How do you tell them about rivers? They think the water comes out of a tap. How do you even tell them about the river? They have not seen one. So we are showing to them on the phone all these videos we are sending, at least on the phone see a river, because maybe that's where you will see in future. So it's time we act responsibly. All our fanciful ideas of what is life will not work If we don't take care of our soil and water, there is no life. There's no question about it.
సద్గురుతో ప్రత్యేక ఇంటర్వ్యూలో చిన్న విరామం తీసుకుందాం. విరామం అనంతరం ఇంటర్వ్యూకి తిరిగి స్వాగతం. నేను 17 yearsలో ఉన్నప్పుడు నేను చక్కగా అక్కడ స్విమ్ చేసేవారిని అని చెప్పేసి, అంటే అప్పటి నుంచి కొంతకాలం తర్వాత నుంచే ఇది మొదలైంది కదా, మరి ఇప్పుడు ఎందుకు ఈ డెసిషన్ తీసుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం ఏర్పడింది అంటారు?
25 సంవత్సరాల నుంచి నేను ఇది గమనిస్తున్నానండి. అది తగ్గిపోయే ఉంది. అంటే ఈ ఒక లాస్ట్ 6-7 yearsలో చాలా వేగంగా తగ్గిపోతుంది. దీని నుంచి 4 సంవత్సరాల నుంచి నేను ఇది చెయ్యాలని ఆలోచిస్తున్నాను. దానికి the required situation, we've been waiting for it. I think this is the most appropriate situation. When this year people have suffered water shortages in a big way, so that is why you see enormous response across the nation. Till now I have not met one person who said this is not right. All kinds of people I've met, scientists, environmentalists, activists who are against everything all the time, they're also agreeing, yes, this must be done. Politicians, chief ministers, environment minister, children, you name it, farmers, everybody is saying 100% this must be done. That's why it's become a national movement right now. So, obviously, we have timed it right. And another thing is, there is also a determined leadership. So, this is a kind of leadership which can think long term. That is why the time is appropriate.
సో ప్రపంచీకరణ, ఆధునీకరణ, మోడర్నైజేషన్ వల్లనే నదులకి పరిస్థితి ఏర్పడింది అంటారా? మరి మోడర్నైజేషన్ కూడా అవసరమే కదా?
మీరు మోడర్న్గా ఉంటే ఏం చేయాలి? అంత ఎఫిషియెంట్గా నడయాలి కదా? సో యూ టేక్ ఎ retrograde step and you call it modern. How's that? So this is the biggest problem in the world. We think all the negative things are modern. What's modern about it? It is cavemanish, in my understanding. People doing idiotic things which destroy the very source of our existence, I think it's worse than being a caveman. Nothing modern about it. Let them not fool themselves thinking they are modern.
నదుల జలాలు తగ్గడానికి అదొకటేమైనా కారణం అవుతుందా?
The source of the river is forest. We have removed it largely. Even when, I'm saying even at that time when I was just 17 years of age, when I floated down the river, only first 35 kilometers is forest. After that, it's all agricultural land. So we are busy producing more rice and more children, okay? More rice and more children endlessly. Now we're wondering, where is the problem? Well, we are the problem, we better know. We're just too many. We're nice, but we're too many. You're nice, not me, but we're too many, that's the problem.
సద్గురు, మీరు 8009 8009కి మిస్డ్ కాల్ ఇవ్వమని అడిగారు కదా, సో దీనివల్ల ఒరిగే ప్రయోజనం ఏంటి?
మిస్డ్ కాల్ చేస్తే నది అలాగే పైన వచ్చేస్తుందా? గడ్డంగా రాదు. See, this is a concurrent subject between the center and the state. Even if the center makes a policy, without the enthusiasm of the states, it's not going to work. So I'm personally driving from Kanyakumari to the foothills of Himalayas, touching 16 states. Why only 16 states? Why not 28 states? Because these 16 states are the heavily farmed states. The others, as you go east in the country, they have more than 40% forest cover, the northeastern states. So they are not the problem. The problem is these 16 states which are heavily farmed, where in some of them the forest cover is less than 20%. So we have to get the concurrence of the states. And fortunately, all except meeting a couple of chief ministers, rest of them all I just wrote one letter. Immediately within 15 days, all of them confirmed their dates for participation. So this means all of them wanted it. The question is, who'll tie the bell? Yes. Who'll bell the cat, you know? Who is going to bell the cat was the issue. So you need a fool like me to stand up and do something, because you don't know the risks involved. There's a lot, but it doesn't matter. I feel this is a responsibility that I have to fulfill no matter what. So we will go for it and we will do, and it'll happen. So we've gotten the concurrence of the states with… just like that. And now we are in the process of signing, memorandums of understanding or MOUs as a consultative partner, because we have 25 years of experience where we have successfully showed people that shifting from crop-based agriculture to tree-based agriculture, a farmer's income can multiply anywhere between 3 to 8 times in 7 years' time. So, we have demonstrated this, so now we are signing MOUs with many state governments. This means they're already ready for action even without a policy. This concurrence is very needed. Never before, 16 states with variety of governments, when I say variety of governments, from different parties, across the political spectrum, all of them have come together, never before this happened. So all of them have come together. This leaves the central government in a little bit of ease, that states are in concurrence. The next thing is, if we aggressively implement this policy, it will take a minimum of 10 to 15 years to implement. In this, there are huge financial outlays and many complex execution aspects. And if we do this 15 years of work, it will take another 5–10 years before you see actual rise in the river flows. So you give a missed call, tomorrow you watch Krishna, is it flowing? It will not flow. Yes. It will take another 20 to 25 years before it comes up. So I may not be there, many of the political leaders who are there may not be there by the time the water rises. But this is a commitment we need to express, that you not only work for today, you have a responsibility for the future generations, because we are not the last generation here. We're just here for a short while, but we've done too much damage. So if such a long-term policy, 25 years means 5 governments would have come and gone, okay, every 5 years. And political leaders may not live to see it. But if someone has to take such a long-term policy, which is not an election-winning policy, it needs a big yes from the people. This is why we want to get 30 crore phone calls and endorsements from people. 30 crore means 40% of the electorate. If 40% of the electorate says we are yes for river policy, now the government's hands are strengthened, they won't look back, they will do this. But this is something as citizens of this nation, every one of us should express. All your Bhakti people, true Bhakti means that you value life. If you did not value life, what are you talking about God? If you only value God, you must go there. Hello? Why are you here? You must be going there. You are here because you value life. If you value life, you value water. If you value water, you value soil. There is no other way. These are fundamentals. And if you value life, you value the life of future generations, not just yours. So, this is a commitment that citizens of this nation must express. If they do this in a big way, which I'm sure they will, then the government will feel free to invest in that kind of a long-term policy. Otherwise, they will do election-winning policies. No, we think the problem is with the government, the problem is with the people. The people must express this. Now is a challenge for the people. We must clearly understand, now this river rally or rally for rivers will prove whether the government is the problem or the people are the problem. I think people are the problem. People are short-term. So naturally government caters to them because it's a democratic government.
సో మీరు ఇప్పుడు ఈ నిర్వహిస్తున్న ఈ ర్యాలీ 16 రాష్ట్రాలకు సంబంధించి అన్నారంటే 16 రాష్ట్రాల్లో మీరు ర్యాలీ నిర్వహిస్తున్నా అని చెప్పారు కదా, అంటే మరి మిగిలిన రాష్ట్రాల్లో బానే ఉందా నదుల పరిస్థితి, అలాగే వేరే దేశాలతో కంపేర్ చేస్తే మన దేశంలో పరిస్థితి ఎలా ఉంది అంటారు?
If you look at other nations, if you look at Europe or UK or many parts of United States, you must understand in Europe there are 250 days of rain. You have 45 days of rain. And the temperatures here are a minimum 10 degrees higher, 10 to 12 degrees higher throughout the year on an average, or much more, probably 15 to 20 degrees higher, okay? So this much temperature and a tropical land which is thirsty and 45 days of precipitation, our problem is very unique and 1.3 billion people. Our problem is very unique and unique to India. We have to address India as India. You cannot address Indian problems in a European way.
So September 3 నుంచి October 2 వరకు, అంటే 2తో మీరు ఢిల్లీకి వెళ్ళి అక్కడ ఈ ర్యాలీని ముగిస్తున్నారా, లేకపోతే దీన్ని ఆరంభం అనుకోవాలా?
ಅದು ಆರಂಭ. The real rally begins after. The rally begins now. But there is enormous amount of work to make it into your policy, which we will be working with the government and various other agencies. And after that there is implementation and execution, which is a very serious challenge. There are many complexities. There are 8 types of fundamental varieties of soil in this country. So right now we are busy. One thing is mapping the soil structure, another thing is the topography. So what kind of crops will work best? What kind of trees will work best in different soils, in different terrains, and people, their attitudes, their caste, their creed, everything comes into play. So this is a very complex operation which will take time. So this is not a 30-day flirtation, this is a lifelong love affair.
చివరిగా సద్గురు, మరి నదుల పరిరక్షణ నిమిత్తం ఒక భారతీయ పౌరులుగా ఏం చేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది? సామాన్యులు ఈ ర్యాలీలో ఏ విధంగా పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయొచ్చు?
ఒకటే ఈ మిస్డ్ కాల్ ఇవ్వాలండి. మిస్డ్ కాల్ ఇచ్చేసి పోయి నదిలో చూడకూడదు, ఎక్కడ రాలేదే, నీళ్ళు రాలేదే అని. అలాగ రాదు. మిస్డ్ కాల్ ఎందుకంటే మన బాధ్యత మనము ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ చేయాలి. ఇది చేస్తేనే గవర్నమెంటు ఒక పెద్ద స్టెప్ తీసుకునేకి there is a chance. Another thing is, on 1st September, lakhs of people around the country, in all the cities and towns will come out with this Rally for River little board, the blue patch. You must make sure all the bhaktas should come, because this is bhakti, that you stand up for what matters to you. But people should not come and stand in large groups. That will amount to a protest or an agitation, which is not the thing. Individual citizens must stand by themselves. If you and your friend stand, between the two of you there must be minimum 50 to 100 feet space. You stand separately, they stand separately. Because standing up in groups is not an answer. Because if you stand up in groups, you will be against some other group. This should not become a source of conflict or differences, because all of us drink water. We must stand up individually. So how to get this? In those cities, we are giving out lot of boards, otherwise you can just download it, print it on a sheet of paper or print it on your t-shirt and just stand from morning 8 to 11, 3 hours. If you have any care or concern for future generations of this land, 3 hours, I want you to express your responsibility. Millions should come out on the streets and stand, not shouting slogans, not blocking roads, not creating nuisance for others, just standing there expressing it. When they see you, your commitment, people should pick up the phone and call. This is something you must do, and there are local events in Andhra Pradesh on 13th, is it? 13th September, we are in Vijayawada, please be there. 14th, we have a major event in Hyderabad. We as human beings, for once, let's act as human beings who consume water. If you are not a water drinker, I will leave you. If you're consuming water in some form, you must stand up for this.
నమస్కారం సద్గురు, థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. సో చూసారు కదండి, ర్యాలీ ఫర్ రివర్స్ గురించి, అలాగే ప్రస్తుతం నదుల పరిస్థితి గురించి సద్గురు చెప్పిన మాటల్ని, అలాగే ఒక భారతీయ పౌరులుగా మనందరికీ మన విధి ఏంటో కూడా తెలియచేశారు. మరి తప్పకుండా ప్రతి ఒక్కరూ 8009 8009కి మిస్డ్ కాల్ ఇవ్వండి.